What's going on, Jerome? So what's really funny with these is when we're at an undisclosed location, beautiful Gary, Indiana. Actually, this is Marion. But we tried to find like an isolated place. But as soon as we hit film, it turns into like a Penn Station. It's just completely busy as ass because everyone wants to be in the background of a third-tier Minnesota Vikings YouTube podcast. There you go, man. Some of it was third tier. Actually, bottom tier last year was the Vikings defense. The Donna Shell D, 31st in the league. It was just not good. It was just no bueno. And for all of the hate and the flack that Kirk Cousins got for that wild card loss, allegedly, against the Giants. Oh, we chucked her down on 4th and 8. Where do you think the defenders were? And Hawkins said should be able to break one tackle, but that's rehashing old stuff. But the fact that the defense gave up 431 yards to Daniel frickin' Jones and 31 points, that gets completely glossed over, and it's ridiculous. So it really is a testament to what Brian Flores has been able to do on defense this year. And the Vikings over the last 7 games, when the Vikings have been 5-2, the defense is top 5 in the league in most analytics, and you have faith that the Vikings can get a stop if the offense turns the ball over and puts them in a bad position. So there's been 7 turnovers over the last 2 games, and the opposing offenses have gotten 3 points off of them, which is insane. And the defense got blamed for the Broncos loss because it's like, oh, you can't stop Russell Wilson from getting a touchdown. They should have had to be in that position. Again, like we said, the Vikings defense shouldn't have to be perfect for the Vikings to win a ball game. And turnovers and lack of going for the throat in the Broncos game certainly cost them. As well as the Bears game, don't even get started about the freaking offense. First touchdown was going to win that game unless you only scored 10 points. And the fact that the Vikings defense allowed 12 points, you should be able to win. Like 1 touchdown in the last 8 quarters of football, and the defense is getting the blame? Nah, it's ridiculous. But I love and adore what Brian Flores has been able to do. And again, it's largely the same personnel as last year. And what he's doing is mixing things up. He's mixed up coverages. He's being uber aggressive because the Vikings need to generate a pass rush. Danielle Hunter is playing at Defensive Player of the Year level, 13.5 sacks. And he's getting the most out of guys that were relatively unheralded last year. Josh Metellus is turning into a star. He's leading the NFL in pressures for a safety with 20, and he really is a straw that stirs the drink on that Vikings defense, where he plays slot corner, he plays linebacker, he blitzes, he plays safety. He's all over the place. He's a tremendous asset for the Vikings. Also, let's not sleep on guys like Caleb Evans when he's on the field. He's really turned the corner in year 2. Mekhi Blackman has looked good. Byron Murphy, after a bit of a rough start, has really settled in nicely. And then you got guys like Cam Beasley, who's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Harrison Smith is still there. He's still getting it done, certainly. And Harrison Phillips is playing like a man whose hair is on fire, even though he doesn't have a ton of hair. I got that problem too. But also, Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks was playing at a Pro Bowl level, a career renaissance, after looking sort of whatever last season. So a lot of that is scheme, putting your players in spots where they can succeed and putting them, letting them be aggressive. And last year when the Vikings were just sitting back in coverage, corners were 7, 8, 9 yards off the receiver, and they weren't generating a pass rush. It was just, you're just sitting back and watching life and letting it happen to you. And that's exactly what the defense was last year. It was way too passive with Dontel. And with this year, the Vikings occasionally get burned on some big plays, but they're leading the league in terms of explosive plays allowed, as well as, sometimes they will blitz the living bejesus out of the opposing quarterback. Would have been nice to blitz Justin Fields on last drive, but that's whatever. But I do love when he changes it up, throws a change up, drops 8 in coverage, and the Vikings defense is a big reason why the Vikings won 5 games in a row, and frankly, they should have won 7 games in a row because those last 2 games are not on the defense. And in the final stanza, hopefully getting Jordan Hicks back at some point, we'll see with compartment syndrome, but the defense staying healthy and getting after it, it's going to be a big reason why the Vikings could make a run. And these last 5 games, keeping the score low, keeping it close, and hopefully the offense will get back on track with Justin Jefferson returning. And I don't care who's under center, whether it's Dobbs or Mullins or Jaron Hall, the offense has to do something. They have to get something going. And, this much heralded offensive line, analytics-wise, how they do against the Bears, not good. But being able to consistently run the ball and distributing it with JJ and putting some crooked numbers on the board is greatly going to help out this defense. Also, not freaking turning the ball over. Again, Josh Dobbs has been a fun story. 8 turnovers in 4 games is unacceptable. But, I mean, the defense has been amazing, man. And I don't know what's going to happen with Flores. Like, there potentially could be a record number of head coaching openings, and Flores has certainly earned himself a second crack at being a head coach. But we'll see. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good candidates out there. Selfishly, I would love if he stayed for a second season and the defense continues to grow and show with him. And if he doesn't find the right fit, he doesn't find the right fit. But you do have to take your hat off to what Flores has done with this unit and continues to do. And if the Vikings are going to have a shot in the playoffs, I mean, that defense is going to be a major part of that. But if the offense continues to be stagnant, maybe they're going to have to start taking the ball away and scoring, which would be all for, man. But that's it. Undisclosed location, Muncie, Indiana. Beautiful. You guys are the best. Skull, no production value.